Timing, is everything when it comes to buying or selling a house. One expert says not only is now the time to sell, but you better do it right away. With me is Steve Harney to talk about this issue. His website, currentmatters.com. Keepingcurrentmatters.com. Steve, it's great to see you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And the thing that so surprised me about what you said is you better sell now rather than waiting. And I have to say, most people like me who are homeowners, they just assume the market's only going to get better down the road. You say think again.
Yeah, we have to talk about timing of this. If you could wait 2 years, maybe that makes sense. But a lot of people want to move on with their lives within the next 2 years. And especially if you're looking to move in the next 6 months, the people who have the houses on the market right now, they have to take a look at, when you're selling anything, the most important thing is supply and demand. And what's going to take place right now, we have an oversupply, almost 10 months inventory. A normalized market for the people out there is 5 to 6 months. So we have almost double a normal inventory. And we have probably a great amount of foreclosure inventory and short sale inventory about to come to market.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, so what you're talking about mostly with the shadow inventory is houses that are on banks' books that will eventually make it back to the marketplace. How many homes there?
Depends on who you listen to. It could be anywhere from 3.2 to 5 million.
Wow.
And the way the public should be looking at it is, let's assume that there was a dam and you lived in the valley, underneath the dam. There's water building up behind that dam. And what you want to do is they're trying to figure out how many they can release to keep the river in the valley running, but without flooding the valley. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to pull that off for a lot of different reasons.
So 5 million is essentially what the NAR says gets sold once every year.
Exactly right.
So that's a lot of houses. Let's show our viewers some numbers about the shadow inventory here. Let's show, first of all, the markets where there's the largest shadow inventory. So this is where you're probably going to run into a lot of trouble trying to sell your house. Chicago has more than 30 months worth of homes out there. Nassau, Suffolk County, Long Island, 30 months. Miami, 33 months. Now, that's a market that I would have expected to come back faster. It has not.
Well, what winds up taking place, remember, everything that happens right now, again, about supply and demand. And one of the challenges you have in each one of those three areas you mentioned, and Chicago is a surprise. I live in Suffolk County on Long Island, so that was a surprise to me also. But what's taking place right now is there are more and more people running into challenges, and that shadow inventory includes people 90 days behind in their mortgage. That's one of the numbers that go in there. And all across the country right now, you just had a great piece earlier today on Illinois, all across the country, people are having challenges. And those challenges are not just felt by the states, they're felt by individual families.
You betcha. All right, so if I'm one of those people out there and I want to sell, what is the calculation that I do to figure out when to do it?
Now, all right, and the reason I'm so strong on that is, again, that water's piling up behind the dam. And if we take a look at what some people are projecting, as far as pricing is concerned, we're seeing a relatively major fall-off projected by people like Fannie Mae, Bank of America. Wells Fargo just came out saying that by mid-year they expect an 8% drop in prices. Now, the one common denominator amongst all of those groups...
An 8% drop in prices.
By mid-2011. Now, the common denominator amongst all those groups is if there is a dam with water behind it, and a cork was put in it because of robo-signing, maybe even what happened last week in Massachusetts, they have their hands on that cork. So if they're predicting that price is going to drop pretty dramatically in the next 6 months, I think what they're trying to tell us is that inventory is about to come to market pretty heavily.
Wow. Steve, great information, fascinating stuff, and I think it probably helps some people out there understand what's going on.
Thank you very much for letting me be here.